if, let's say, a couple wants to both contribute to super and build up a home deposit, and let's also say that they're in the 37% tax bracket. So just doing some basic numbers, to me, it sounds like they could probably save somewhere around $11,000 each over a 4-year period of putting like $10,000-$15,000 in per year, because there's a 22% tax saving on $50,000. You know what I mean? They're paying 15% tax instead of 37% tax. Does that math add up to you?
Yeah, so they have to pay 15% when the money goes in, and then at tax return time, they get 37% back out, and that nets to 22. That makes sense.
So on that money, on that 50 grand that they've put in nice and neatly over 4 years, they basically pay $7,500 tax on that money versus they would have had to pay $18,500 just under a normal tax scenario. So they've each saved $11,000 in that case, and that's so they've basically accumulated an extra $22,000 combined over a 4-year period by utilizing this scheme. But so that sounds pretty good, man. More than 20 grand. That's awesome in a reasonable scenario. But then they have to pull the money out. So then what does that look like?
Yeah, so in their case, because they're in that 37% tax bracket, once you take the 30% offset, so it's just 37 minus 30, they, assuming again some simplicity around their marginal tax rate, they would have to pay 7% tax on that money they pull out of super. So if they pull $50,000 out of super, they are now going to have to pay $3,500 of tax that financial year when they're doing that home thing. And you said that they kind of saved $11,000 each, but when they pull that money out, they're going to pay about $3,000 each. Means that in net, it's like $7,000 to $8,000 that they walk away with.
Okay, so as a couple, they're better off by about $15,000 over a 4-year period. So that's not too bad. It's not massive, but it's definitely not nothing either.
Yeah, if you're happy to spend assuming those incomes are stable and the same, which is a big part of it, and you're happy to do the little bit of admin, which I don't think is too bad, and the market is relatively steady, such that, pulling the money out is not a bad idea, then yeah, it's some real savings for sure.